Hey everybody, Who's Your Jedi here with another review for you. This time I'm talking episode 7 of season 6 of Arrow, the Slabside Redemption. And I know we're overlooking a few episodes here, like Demon and Due Process. Sorry about that. Basically, kind of the last few weeks, kind of a combination of Fallout 76 and Thanksgiving have kind of thrown a bit of a wrench into the schedule. I basically don't remember those other episodes so clearly, so we're just going to pick things right up where we left off here. Okay, so let's just kind of get right into it. All in all, I really liked this episode. One thing I've kind of been complaining about, especially last season, but for a while now, is that Oliver is struggling, I think, a little too much with some people who really I don't think should be a threat to him. Let's remember, Oliver killed Ra's al Ghul. Was the leader of the League of Assassins. Right? He's tangled with Reverse Flash. He's tangled with Malcolm Merlin. He is tangled with some really scary dudes. And yet, even before he got powers, Diaz was still, somebody he had a hard time with physically. Are you kidding me? This guy who's just basically a street thug with no real special training, as best we can tell, is an equal to a guy who's the ex-leader of the League of Assassins, who killed the former leader of the League of Assassins. Bull, 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 bull. Uh, Sorry, I'm a little distracted. I can hear my neighbors talking out in the hallway. Anyway, here we kind of get to see what I really would expect from Oliver. Here it's sort of like, yeah, like being overwhelmed is the only really serious threat he has in Slabside. I mean, granted, those guys in the shower did get the jump on him, but anybody can go down if they get surprised. Now, Oliver being surprised in that situation, yeah, I kind of think his instinct should have kept him a little safer than that, but okay. In a tough situation, anybody can let their guard down. But yeah, him here, this is what, like, Oliver just carving through these guys and just sort of like, okay, I'm going to take this guy down and God help anybody who gets in my way. And I did like how he teamed up with Turner and he kind of said, like, look, man, yeah, you saved my friend's life, so I think that you deserve a second chance. Although listening to Turner kind of whine about the whole thing of like, well, I don't deserve to be in here. Well, you're still a criminal and a murderer, dude. Yeah, you totally do deserve to be in prison. You don't deserve to be in the hole because you didn't actually kill that guy. But acting as if you being in jail is some sort of grand cosmic injustice just because you did one good thing in saving Lila's life is kind of BS. It does show that there is still some good in the guy, that, maybe there is a path to redemption if he can, work with Argus. I mean, I assume this is him talking with Diggle and stuff is sort of like, well, let's get this guy back out of prison, stick another bomb in his neck, and send him back out with the Suicide Squad again, which, okay, not great, but Lila and Diggle are in charge, so, at least his human rights will be observed, and he would have the chance to maybe redeem himself, do some good in the world, and see if, like, yeah, is it possible for this guy to turn over a new leaf? And if he does, then, well, bam, Argus is the perfect place for a guy like Turner. And other stuff here, well, this is the end of Brick, which, again, I think is something that's a long time coming. I mean, Brick was really just, like, all constantly just strutting around, sort of like, dude, you do realize that Oliver, you're in here because of Oliver, and he really, really could probably take you apart if he really wanted to. Which is kind of one of the reasons why Brick avoids a direct confrontation. I mean, Brick talks a big game, but you never see him being like Samson, going on like, yeah, okay, Oliver, let's go. Uh, of course, Samson bites the dust in a really spectacular fashion. Points to what's the fellow's name? Cody Rhodes, I believe. I'm not really into wrestling or whatever, but he did a good job on Arrow. You know, you really did want Samson to get what was coming to him, and he goes down in a pretty memorable fashion. And definitely did like Oliver just okay, like no, okay, now Diaz has power. He has like superhuman strength. So now Oliver going up against him is a serious thing, and yet Oliver pulls it off. And as laying it on thick is like throwing Diaz back in his own Oliver's own prison cell was emotionally it was extremely satisfying. It's sort of like, man, this guy has had this coming for a long time. And, you know, this is exactly what he has deserved. You know, he brought his game, he went out there and he did all of this in this big show, and Oliver put him down in about the most public way fashion possible. All right, it's over for him. Now, Diaz is still, well, I won't say he's a smart guy, but he's not entirely stupid either. So I have a feeling we haven't quite exactly seen the last of him, but yeah, him being taken down like this is overdue, and it does sort of serve as a nice ending point for that character. You know, here with this whole thing with Oliver in jail, we're ending that chapter, which was inextricably tied to the whole situation with Diaz. So looking back on it now, I understand a little bit more of why they didn't just wrap everything up with Diaz at the end of last season. But I still hold on to the idea that Diaz has overstayed his welcome by and large, and it's time to sort of, I guess, let the longbow hunters take center stage as the serious bad guys of the season, because they definitely need to step up their game. I haven't been too impressed by these guys so far, but let's see what they have when they're hopefully the spotlight characters of the story. And yeah, I mean, there continues to be some really good stuff going on with Felicity. Laurel's also doing good stuff, and it's nice to see that Oliver's out of jail. And where does this all go from here? Now that everybody knows what's going on with him, and well, I imagine the big deal now is like, okay, who's this other Green Arrow who's been running around, and is Oliver going to find some way to sort of like, oh yeah, turns out I wasn't really the Green Arrow after all this time. I don't know, but it's definitely going to be interesting to see what happens. So let's wrap it up here, guys. As always, please comment, rate, subscribe. Follow me on Twitter at Hoosier Jedi, and also join me on Tumblr at Jedi Reviewer. Until next time, take care and have a good one.